Hello, orienteering friends. Welcome to the race recording. This is the first day of the B class region races, which basically gathers the whole Bohemia region. And first day was a long. I was racing in H40 category. Our course was, I think, 8.8 kilometers long with like 19 controls and over 300 meters of ascent. So it was a little bit tough, let's say. But with proper route choices, you could make it in hour and 20 minutes, maybe even less, maybe 70 minutes, I guess. So let's get to my race. Here I am at the start. Okay, so you don't see me right now, but shortly I hope the map will show my position on the map. Maybe I will have to adjust it. As you can see, in front of me is a lady from our club. Actually, she's the one who is like a coach for the kids. She's a very experienced runner, but last year she suffered a knee injury, so she was recovering, and this is one of her first races now. So here I decided to go through this clearing rather than go all the way around. Yeah, I think not a bad choice. My idea was to get through this clearing all the way to the path, and then of course through the forest to the next path that is somewhat leading to my control number 1. Here it seems that I'm running slow, but I'm actually trying to run as fast as I can. Yeah, so now you can see me on the map, and I'm almost at the end of the clearing. I should be at the path right now, yeah. So here I obviously decided to cut it. And basically I was trying to continue to the next path and to the junction there, and then just follow the path to the path through the or around that greenish area, and then through the another green area, and around those fenced areas up under the control number 1. So I think basically right now it's quite clear, and we can speed it up. So as you saw, nothing really critical happened. I executed my strategy pretty well. Now I got to this road, and I was looking up for the like rocks or stones, and then I noticed on the map that there is this like a small path that goes uphill, So I was aiming to get to that part and then from there straight up. The path was not very visible, but I think here it somewhat resembled some kind of a path. So I entered the forest here and then basically went straight up to the rocks from this point. As you can see, I'm kind of following this path diagonally, but you know, I was climbing like zigzag. It wasn't. This was very steep hill. I was not able to run, definitely, and like for sure not straight up. So this approach going there and back zigzag seemed to be fine. And from this point I even saw the control. So it wasn't, I think it wasn't precisely in the center of the circle, I guess. But yeah, it was mind control, so cool. The closer the better. Maybe my GPS was not precise enough. That's also the other possibility. Now to control number 2, obviously I wasn't going to go down. I didn't want to lose the altitude. I was trying to, you know, stay on the same altitude level, on the same contour basically. Of course there were some obstacles in my path, so I had to avoid them, and slowly I climbed a little bit. It wasn't easy to run, so I wasn't running much throughout this leg, let's say. Here the nice thing was that the valley was pretty like visible, and then there was this small cabin or whatever. What kind of thing is that? It seems strange to be here. I didn't really understood it. What was the purpose of this thing? But at least it helped me navigate. Here again, I'm kind of struggling just to navigate through this, you know, contours or through this just basically hill or slope. And now I just try to continue as straight as possible. Okay, here I fell down. So maybe it was due to me looking into the map rather than looking under my knee, either my feet. So that's a common cause for me falling down. And then obviously I saw the control from above, so it was nice that I could easily find it. Yeah. Now to control number 3. I don't know. It seemed that either way I had to climb. So I decided to go not straight up, but go diagonally up, climb the contours, cross this valley, and then I saw this big greenish area, so I was going to go around it, and I was aiming for that, you know, fenced young forest. Obviously, the execution was fine, but I will speed it up now when I will reach the fence area. I guess that's the right point to continue in the narration. So you probably noticed that small course diversion. I don't know how to explain it. It seems strange to me. I don't know what I was trying to avoid. Anyways, I reached this fenced area, and from there it was, just trying to keep my direction, my bearing. I took a bearing from that point. And also this guy who is in front of me kind of helped me, because obviously he was headed to the same control. So I used that to my advantage. He was much younger and much faster, to be honest. I wasn't able to keep up with him, at least not in this kind of terrain. I had to look beneath my feet. And there it is. Now to control number 4. I think I got a little bit influenced by this guy. So I kind of first took my bearing and basically followed him into this greenish forest. It was possible to run, more or less. So that's why I decided to go this way. But I saw some other live logs and the faster route people choose was going back or going down straight to this path on my left, and then through the forest to the junction. So that was definitely faster. Here I got to this road, and I had to somehow decide when exactly I will go to the left. So first I was just trying to avoid this greenish forest, and then I went straight down. I think I should have done that before this greenish part. I would basically end up at the place where I will cross this forest on my right side, because here it looked kind of thick, and I try to avoid it, So it wasn't this route choice that I first started doing wasn't the best one. Now basically I continued along that big road then until I reached a point where I thought, okay, this looks like this greenish, like dark green area, and I'm going to cut it here straight to control number 4. So I will speed it up a little bit here. Funny enough, apparently this guy also had control number 4 as I did, and he entered the forest here, so I kind of followed him, I think, because now it started to be, like greenish, and I decided that this might be the point. Or where am I going? Okay, so I'm looking at the, that's the clearing on my left, on my right side, so I decided to go here. Not a bad idea, although, here the terrain was a little bit rough. Nevertheless, I was able to pinpoint my location, I would say. Here I saw this, how you call it, like something like a road. So, and then this was some kind of like a cliff, but not a stone cliff, obviously. It was just a terrain cliff. And I thought, okay, the area that I want to go is on my right side, so I just need to get through all this mess and somehow enter that that clearing, or what is it? It was basically an old mine remains, you know, all these stones are just, you know, remain like the rests. When you dig up a hole to get some raw materials, like they did here, they were mining iron ore in this place. So you have a lot of rocks and a lot of soil and other things around, so you just put it away. So that's this part. But as you can see, I didn't properly took my bearing, and here was a hole, and I didn't recognize it on the map. Maybe it wasn't there, but I was really lost in this area, because to me the borders between, you know, like the greenish area and the yellowish area was not really clear. So it was very difficult for me to properly pinpoint where am I. Obviously, I was looking for the easiest way, which led me through this yellowish area to this central, not central, but here was some kind of path. Or at first I started running to the left, but as I said, I was kind of lost here, so I didn't have any anchor point, or so I was looking, and then I started going back, and I reached some kind of you know, stones, like these things, you know, like remains of old canal. Okay, I started going. Why I started going here? Maybe I tried to discuss it with this guy. But I remember that we got back to the, like, to that path, and then I realized, okay, this is some kind of, you know, this is some kind of like stones or stone wall, or some kind of cliff, not a cliff obviously, but you know, you see these remains. So I got an idea, okay, maybe this is the marker on the map, these old like canal things. And I started going back. Then this guy appeared, apparently going and looking for the same control. So I followed him, and then there was this guy probably already going for some next control, because he didn't come with us to control number 4. So this was obviously the first mistake. I guess I lost at least 2 minutes, maybe more, but I was happy to find my control. Okay, so he did get lost as well as I did. And to control number 5, obviously I followed this track, or, you know, old canal, and you know, path. And then obviously there was this small clearing with small, not a lake, like a water ditch maybe. So I was aiming for that, and then obviously my idea was to get a bearing from there, and yeah, so here it is. And so here I took a bearing and went straight to control number 5. Again, it wasn't very easy, you know. these trees are basically not so tall, kind of scattered, so you are still trying to avoid them, and you can lose your direction easily. So I was advancing kind of slowly, let's say, and again here, it's not, for me this is not, it is green, but it's not green, so it was kind of a, like, I don't know how to describe it. Anyways, I was glad that I found the control, and then I again took the bearing, and I was, trying to get to control number 6 according to the bearing. Of course, I was going through this greenish area, so it was, first of all, slow. Second of all, I was trying to be careful and not to lose the direction. Again, I was slow. But I think here there were a lot of points where I could get saved, let's say. Again, this guy. So here you can see there is a small clearing, probably this part. That's what they meant by the clearing. Like this is more open, I guess. And then we are again entering this young forest. I followed that guy, obviously, because he was heading the same direction. For me, I was thinking, okay, let's get to that next clearing and to those stone fields. I should really think on better way how to tie up my laces, and especially I know that you can use a tape and to put it around the knot, which a lot of people do, but I'm so lazy that I didn't buy the tape yet, so I need to do that because it's really helpful, and when I don't do that, I always get my shoelaces untied, and then I'm losing time. So here, when I got to this point, I basically saw the control, so it was easy. It was easy in either way, I guess. Now to control number 7. To me, the most straightforward way was to take this path, and then basically along this path there was another path that leads to the right, to some bigger path, to some vehicle road. So that's what was my aim, and then basically straight uphill according to bearing. And I will now speed it up because that's what I did, and it worked pretty well. I got to the control nicely. There were some other people probably heading to my control, so I also, oriented myself according to them. So let's skip it a little bit. Here I'm closing to the control. I noticed this hatched area on my left, which represents some probably new younger forest. You don't see it because it's covered with the map, but it's there, and it looked like the area around the control, so like this very young forests, a lot of these small trees, and that led me to the control. Now to control number 8, basically I took a bearing and followed the bearing all the way to control number 8. So again, I will just speed it up because there is nothing more to say. Okay, so I reached the control 8, now comes control 9, and here I did a bad route choice. I don't really know why. Actually, I think I did chose to go the way I will go because I wanted to go like shorter way, let's say. And so at first straight uphill, and you know, I already had some kind of hill in my legs, so I wasn't really running. I tried, but it was like, you know, run, walk. And here I was aiming to get to this narrow ride, and the fastest road was to go around all this valley, around all this greenish area, along the narrow ride to that bigger road that is barely visible on the map on the left side, top corner. There is this road and some kind of clearing, so that was much faster. Like the guys who did beat me on this leg, they did it 2 minutes faster, and now when I saw it, I was just, you know, beating my head because I started running along the narrow ride, and then I thought it seems to be too long, and I decided to go over the top and through the forests, and that was more like difficult way, because I guess first of all you have to be more careful with navigation, and second you got more obstacles. You know, the really dark green areas, they were really difficult to get through, and yeah, this was a stupid choice. I mean, I executed my strategy correctly, and I did found my way nicely, and it wasn't, when I crossed the valley, it wasn't that difficult to run. But as you can see, the first half now was uphill. Now I'm running downhill, but there are lots of these, you know, obstacles, a lot of branches, a lot of like forests, a lot of trees. If you can run on a road or through the narrow ride, it's clear, you don't have any obstacles, you can run. You know, here I'm not actually running, you know, this is very slow. So that was a bad decision. Anyway, I will speed it up a little bit. There is not much to say elsewhere. I kind of followed my bearing and kind of followed the contours up until control 9 pretty nicely. There was these clearings as well, so that helped me to navigate. So I will speed it up and you will see how I cope with all that. But definitely this was very slow and not the best route choice. So a couple minutes later, here I am, closing to control number 9. Everything good. I even saw the null from afar. It was kind of obvious here. So, I mean, the execution, how I did it, was good, but the route choice was shitty. I should have do it other. I should have gone along the narrow ride and around the volley, let's say. Obviously to control number 10 that was very easy. It was just uphill, so I wasn't really running. Follow the bearing, follow kind of the terrain. You know, you can see that it's on the top, on the right side of the top, so it was easy and I got there without any issues. Here to control number 11, for some reason, again, I didn't like chose a good route. I'm not sure if it wasn't entirely bad, but it would have been easier or shorter to go more to the left here. I just was, you know, probably I wanted to be more relaxed and I wanted to use some easy navigation way, so I thought that I will go along this path and then somehow, you know, follow here the roads, which I did, but it was longer. And here I also, you know, on my map in that light, I was confused because this to me looked like a road, but it wasn't there. On the map it was some kind of just yellowish or brownish color, which is probably correct, but I was expecting a road, something that is black, right? So I was honestly a little bit confused here. Now I think I knew where I am, but as I said, here this was not a good choice because I was climbing uphill. That's why I'm not running, because I was probably a little bit tired and also confused. At this point, when I saw the wires of electrical wires, then like I was like, okay, I know where I am. That's fine. Now I knew where is this road. Now it all kind of clicked, and now I, when I saw that when the road goes, I decided not to follow the road all the way. I decided to go around the clearing through the forest. That seemed like a shorter way to get to control number 11. But obviously I could have done that much sooner, straight from control 10. I should have gone along the bearing, along straight, like almost straight to control 11, and then a little bit around the contours, and that would be it. Here I'm basically losing time. I lost time the first half. Here it's fine. Here I'm able to run, but the first half was, like, for me now tedious to watch, because I know that I could have been faster. So now I'm at the control number 11, refreshment station, much needed, obviously, but I was already thinking about control number 12, and the first that appeared to me was, let's go along the roads. But then, for some reason, I was like, but the road is still on your left, you can go straight. It will be a little bit shorter, and you can do it. Don't be a pussy, whatever. So I decided to go straight. That would have been fine if I would execute properly, but you will see that at some point I got lost. I don't know why. Maybe it was all those ditches that threw me off, and then one road and another road, and I was kind of lost, and I really had to ask for a direction. So this was another mistake, and the lesson here is take a road whenever it makes sense, and in this case it made perfect sense to take the road. It would be faster, less thinking about navigation, and less obstacles. Obviously, in the forest you have branches and the terrain is not flat, so it's more difficult to run. I don't know. Maybe I should stop watching the Finnish people running through their clean forests. Well, they don't have many roads, many paths, so they don't have other choices. We do, I do. Why I didn't go along the road? Why? Let's speed it up. See you at control number 12. So I guess you saw that, right? You saw how I got lost, and fortunately there was someone nice enough to give me advice and tell me where am I, and from that point obviously I was able to you know, find my way to control number 12. Now to control 13, these kind of like small hills, probably made by, you know, prospectors. They were trying to find where to dig for the iron ore or whatever. I don't know. So I was trying to avoid them, and that threw me off the direction. As you can see, I'm running too much to the right, and I noticed that there is this road, and I should have gone along the road, right? Instead, I decided to go through the forest. Here it was runnable, but you know, again, probably the previous mistake chained into this other mistake. Then I noticed some control here behind one of this what it is, like a small hill. So I went to check it. That was stupid, because it wasn't my control. So I again lost some time. You know, you see, I'm going back because I saw a control, but I didn't know where am I. So this was, and I had some kind of sense. I was like, this shouldn't be my control. This doesn't look like correct. So yeah, then I continued to control number 13. Basically, I had correct bearing. Now I even saw that hill, and I was like, okay, that's the one I'm looking for. And from control number 13, I just took a bearing and went to control 14. That worked out pretty well, so I will speed it up a little bit. Okay, control number 13 reached. I don't even know, did I take some refreshments here or not? Yeah, I did. Okay. Anyways, to control number 15, first, obviously I wanted to get to this vegetation boundary, and from the edge of that vegetation boundary, or that young forest with some kind of clearing, I took a bearing and I was headed to control number 15 until I got lost. So let's see about that. Let's fast forward it a little bit. So here I'm still good, but somewhere here is ditch number 1, not my control here. So I started looking around, and then I went for some other ditch because I saw somebody there. Maybe that was the control, but this was not my control. Now I thought this is a ditch. Obviously it's not a ditch, it's this erosion, kind of erosion. This lady was looking for the same control as I did, and she is probably a better orienteer than I am, so I kind of followed her, and you know, together we found the control number 15. So mission accomplished, control found, but again I lost like a minute here probably. I should have trusted myself a little bit more, and maybe again, you know, I guess it's something like, even if you do a mistake, the mistake is in the past, and now you should focus on the next control and be confident, pick a good strategy and execute it, and you know, like, move forward, don't look back, you know. And I think that's something I still have to work on. But let's move to control number 16. Here at first it seemed obvious that I will take the bearing, reach the paths, and then follow the path to the main road, or the, you know, vehicle road. And here my first and initial strategy was to take the path on the left that leads around that greenish area in the middle, on the left from the leading line to control number 16. But I got influenced by this guy, and I then took the path that went around the hill, basically through the greenish part. It was perfectly fine to run through that. The path was runnable, let's say. So I don't think that was a mistake, but let's fast forward it a little bit. So here we got to the part where was this small valley or erosion. It was still okay to run, and I started to, you know, look for these clearings and small patches of the young forests that were my, let's say, anchor points. At this point, this was like clear and easy to navigate, so I had no troubles here. But let's fast forward it a little bit again. And yes, here when I was passing this part with those ditches and with all those erosions, and a lot of people had some kind of controls here, so that started to be distracting. And also I guess I started to have trouble reading the contours, or maybe I wasn't really focused enough to read them. I was trying to figure out, you know, which if I will see this kind of some big hill or big kind of erosion on my right side, that you can see there is this contour curved around some big ditch, and that's what I was trying to figure out. you saw it. I was just looking at it, and that was it. That I should have taken the bearing and went down, but I didn't. For some reason, I wasn't sure about myself. Here is a ditch in which was a control. I could have asked this guy, where am I? But probably I felt stupid to ask that. So I didn't ask where am I exactly. And I just continued, you know. At this point, I probably didn't know where am I. And so I did a mistake here. I still kind of followed my direction, or maybe I thought that I'm at the different ditch, and you know, this greenish area, that should have told me that I'm entering this hatched greenish area and that I'm too far. Instead, I continued and I found a ditch that was with a stone ditch, and also there was this kind of erosion, like a plateau. You can see that that my control is on one such or above such a plateau, and then there is another one again on such plateau. And so I ended up there, and there came some guy. He gave me advice, and at that point I knew where am I, so I went there. Yeah, you see now that plateau is in front of me on my right side. And here in this greenish area, I found this ditch. Yeah, here it is. So I thought, this should be mine. But I don't know if I was blind or where I was looking. It was obvious that this is the one. This is or not the one. This is the other one, because my control is not here. You know, why would it be like? It is not a cave, you know. Whatever. Let me speed it up, because now I just asked some guy. I knew where I am, where I have to go. So I went to control number 16, picked it up, and then went to control 15. Basically straight, so... yeah, let's speed it up now. So as you saw, I basically went the same way back, and you know, like along the contours, around this greenish forest, which was, you know, a bit thicker. Then I ended up here, and I started looking for the control, and I realized that I'm a little bit above it, because I saw this kind of erosion, and I was like, okay, it must be there, because this is this erosion. So yeah, and I maybe I kind of overpassed it or didn't pick it up perfectly, so I went there and back and found the control. Probably lost like half a minute here, I guess. I don't know, but it wasn't that bad, I think. Now to control number 18, For me, it seemed easiest to go down to the main road and then follow the bigger road up. But I saw that some guys, they followed the contours, and through the greenish area there is a path or small clearing. So they went through the clearing, they took the path, and that was definitely faster. But once I got to here on this road, for me it was, very pleasant to run on this road. So I was pretty satisfied with myself here. And the only thing that was difficult was that climb to number 18, because it's again some kind of old mine remains, when they dig out some ground and they just put it there. So it is like a big man-made mountain with these small lakes. I don't know what for they were used. It was the climb to that mountain, or man-made mountain, that was difficult. I had to use all four of my not legs, all four my attachments, like legs and hands to climb up. And yeah, but I got there, and it wasn't that bad actually. So, and from control number 18 to control number 19, that was basically along the road. There was nothing else, and then straight to the finish. So I will now just, try to get some overall sum up from this race. It was kind of a mixed performance. Some parts were executed nicely, others not so much. I was, control number 4 where I got lost, and then I think it was control number 12 and 13 where I got a little bit lost, and then control 16 where I got lost. Those were costly, and also the route choices, route choice to control 9 could have been better. So overall, I don't know how much I lost. I think the best did it in 73 minutes, and I did it in 88 minutes. Even the GoPro battery, which usually lasts 85 minutes or more, didn't last the whole race. It died just before the finish, so it wasn't very, satisfactory feeling after all, and I wasn't very happy about my performance. The course and the nature or the terrain there, it was very interesting, and that was nice. I definitely enjoyed that part. So there are really nice terrains here in Czech Republic. So I hope you enjoyed my narration, and see you at the next race. Bye.
To je na kopci, ne? Ten posedač. to je ono, ne? Tady ta červená věc.